What up, boys? It is your weekly Tendos podcast.
Wow, we got sound effects. The budget has increased. We turned the video on for the first time.
We did. We turned. This is
Not for the podcast, though.
Not for the podcast.
Yeah,
you guys.
I won't put myself on YouTube.
We might
I won't
do
it.
No. We might do
It
it.
is recording.
We could do at one point in time, just like maybe once a month or something, just a Twitch stream, right? And archive in. That's about it. We won't put it on YouTube. It'll just be a Twitch stream. You'll see us on our channel.
I will
That's
put
fair.
a bag over my head out of shame.
And that's fine. That's fine.
But it'll have a nice smiley face.
Nope,
And
that's
it will
weird.
say, I am not famous.
I'm not. Yes.
This
All right.
festival.
All right. Good job. Fucking Skrillex.
Got
I
the
guess, I don't know.
Skrillex. That was
Nice Halloween
that was
costume,
off.
Andrew.
Yeah. So we skipped a week. For those that didn't know, time has skipped for us. It now is winter. It's snowing outside,
Oh, it's so
and
much snow.
we don't even know what fall means. It is
It just didn't
September.
happen.
There was one.
It is the nightmare
I remember
in September.
September. I remember a time in podcast cinematic universe when summer was canceled. Well, now fall is also canceled.
Yes,
And
fall
we're
is
just going-
canceled.
We're going right from spring to winter.
Autumn is canceled. Is that
Autumn.
the name of
No
someone?
longer.
Autumn is canceled.
Autumn
Whoever
is
that
can-
is.
you can
You're
meet people,
canceled.
Autumn. You're done. You know. You realize
You're
this.
done.
You So
No second chances here on the Tendos podcast.
So I guess how should I go about these topics?
Roll a dice.
Purdy put him at Purdy put his at like kind of the bottom half.
So there's
Okay.
memes first, real topics second.
Okay, so
No,
we'll
there's
do
memes. I'm sorry, there's real topics up there.
we'll start with the first topic. We'll
Dealer's
pull from the
choice.
top. We'll pull from
I
the
don't
top.
remember.
I pop from the stack. I've been doing that a lot recently.
Pop,
So
pop,
let's
pop.
just keep going from there. Nintendo has ruined Miyamoto's vision by allowing users to have choices.
So this is not a joke. This is not a goof nor a gaff. Nintendo, via Twitter, has announced they will be ruining the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection by allowing players to invert the camera controls. They are patching this into the game, thereby ruining Miyamoto's vision, besmirching his very name.
Is that true though? I don't know why you would use inverted controls. What's the matter with you people? Who wants to be left-handed? And then they said, but I guess originally the games had inverted controls, and so the speedrunners are all upset because they can't get used to it right now and play it.
But the
I don't
game
remember
had
ever.
that
I
setting?
don't remember that.
No, they never did. Definitely. No,
That's what I
definitely
read.
Not like.
But
So
Galaxy
question,
doesn't
what
have any
is
option.
when you're talking about inverted?
flight
Right.
controls.
Yeah, I get that. But like, so is it inverted on the X, inverted on the Y, or is it inverted both?
Oh, just the Y, right?
Are you sure? They might give you an option for both.
That'd be crazy. That's terrible.
So
What is wrong with people?
So the problem to this is I play inverted on both.
You're a weirdo.
John,
Why?
I can only play inverted on both unless it's in the first person, because then that makes sense because it's your first person.
That's like, all right, you that's like you study trigonometry all year long, and then you take the test and they go, actually, we flipped the X and Y axis and you got everything wrong.
yeah.
That doesn't
lucky
change
for
anything. It's a
John.
circle. Trigonometry is just
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't change
it. Your X and Y is
It's
still
negative.
pi and 2 pi.
Lucky for John and unlucky for nearly everyone else. Nintendo's fact check: you can invert both horizontal and vertical control
Wow.
in
That's
all of
crazy.
in each of these games.
So
And
I mean, that's
I am upset.
Yep.
was
Thanks,
that not the way at the original release of these games?
No, they don't have that option. They're not actually building it into the options menu of the game. There's like this overlay that displays over the emulator, and they kind of hacked it in there. They just slid it right in. So
Oh,
it's not like they're restoring the game. It was never there.
I would say, don't worry, I've been doing that recently, so I know how that is.
Just emulating stuff.
You don't actually change the game code. You
Right.
just like throw this overlay that overwrites a variable somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good
Slide
patch.
that in.
Yeah,
You
you're
have
like,
to deal with legacy code.
just don't.
That's a book. Oh,
Just,
okay.
just don't.
Chapter 1,
Something's
stop.
on top of
Just
it.
chapter 1, quit this book. Well, that's kind of, I don't know. I'm always, for me as a gamer, right? Sorry, I just got a message.
They call him Gamer John.
I just want to know why he hates Miyamoto's vision.
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
That makes sense. All right. Sorry.
Great.
I got distracted. For me as a gamer, I would say I'm very nostalgic of old style games, right? I also appreciate the old style games, and I also appreciate nice quality of life changes to old style games, right? Some games definitely need a quality of life change to them.
Mario
Some
Sunshine,
styles-
they could have just fixed,
Yeah,
but they left it untouched.
Sometimes people are just a bunch of little bitches.
Whoa. Shots fired.
I don't know if I censored that word. Is that in like the? I don't know. I have to read the podcast rating guides.
If you want, that's why I left it dragging a little bit.
It's in the context of chain chomps with bows on their heads.
Yes, female chain chomps.
Yes. But sometimes just people they're like, it's too hard, or like, I don't get, why doesn't this allow me to do the camera movement? I'm like, listen, every game has different camera movement. Just deal with it.
But why wouldn't you can't you just turn the controller upside down?
That's true. Oh, no. Okay. So they gave you 2 controller halves for a reason, because
you flip it.
Your left Joy-Con, you keep it the right way. The other one you flip upside down. This way, only cameras are inverted and not your movement. It's built into the package.
And and B and X and A and Y or whatever it is, right? Or B and Y, A and X, they double and they go diagonally. So when you flip it, it still works diagonally.
Same thing.
Really, Nintendo solved this issue when the Switch came out on
people
March 17th, 2017. And
people
I don't know
are not
why
creative. That's all it is. They're just not creative. They don't. Yeah, flip? It was 2017.
You know, like the 17th of March?
I think so.
3rd.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
Why do I know this off the top of my head?
I was pretty close.
March 3rd, a day that we will live in infamy.
Disc Room is an aggressively okay video game.
So I bought this indie game called Disc Room, and I used to buy a bunch of indie games, the kind of stuff you see for like $2 on Steam. I used to play a bunch of those, just kind of quick pick up and play games. And I heard a lot of buzz about this one. I don't know why there's buzz. I guess because it's like buzz saws.
Is it a horror game?
No, it doesn't really do much. So imagine you're in a room. It's top-down 2D, and they spawn these discs, and you have to avoid the discs. That's the game. In later levels, get this, there are more discs to avoid. I spent $15 on this, and that was my choice.
I'm looking at this.
Not everyone should make that choice. I say do some research and don't believe the hype.
Hold on. Disc Room is a bloody fun time. Andrew, are you trying to say that this title is incorrect?
I think, when you die, there's like blood effects. So I think I got what they're going for there. That is true. It's not bad. It's just aggressively okay.
All right. I completely get what you're saying because I just saw who the publisher was.
Devolver.
Yep.
Yeah. What's wrong? I mean, they publish all sorts of things.
They just publish anything. It's literally
not anything. No, they have. It's quality. It does. The game's not broken. I don't know.
I'm not saying they publish broken games. I'm saying they publish anything. Like, tell me a game that's an indie game that's not just like that you would look at it and be like, oh, that's like maybe a $2 game, and then see Devolver Digital tagged onto that.
The last few years,
downfall,
they've been kind of grabbing everything and publishing it.
Yeah. And nothing wrong with that. It's just very like you can just tell. You're like, yep, that's a Devolver Digital.
Just by the size of the game, they've kind of ate everyone up pretty much. It's kind of
they've developed this, in my opinion. They've developed this like almost like it's not a stigma, but it's more of like it's just like a cliche, like, oh, that's probably a Devolver game, right?
Like an image. They have
that's image. That's what it is.
But that actually goes against the point of like, oh, they publish anything. Like you can tell by a game that it's Devolver. It's usually just like a little 2D indie game, right?
And then it's like, you can tell like a lot of games are also tiny huge games. I think it is the other one.
Because they look like Flash games.
Yeah, they look like exactly.
I don't know why. It's just I mean, they used to make Flash games. So.
They used to, but yeah, it's like this whole. Publishers obviously gravitate to certain brands and styles.
Whatever's in their wheelhouse,
So, if you don't mind me changing the subject, but branching, there's a later topic I have about an indie game and about retro games, is that there's some indie studio that made a Game Boy game that's coming out next year.
Are they like shipping a cartridge, or is it
Please
kind of a ROM?
expand.
How are they legally allowed to?
It's
okay.
I can't remember the name of it, but it's an RPG, and you're a knight that fights like dragons and demons, and it's coming out next summer, and it's going to cost like $60, and it's on an actual cart.
That's pretty cool. I think the patents for the Game Boy have expired, and the Game Boy and NES. That's why they're allowed to like ship.
Possibly, because
Yeah,
I know
That's
it's kind of cool.
I know some people have come out with Sega Genesis games on carts in the last few years. I can't find the title. Sorry.
That's kind of
this
what I
is
was thinking too. It was
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn. It was
I'll send you guys the link.
Past the copyright statues or the patent statues, and Nintendo's not going to renew that shit. Like,
Also, RIP headphones makes
Renew
you
that.
mute. It's very loud in 8-bit.
what's it called? Dragonborn.
Dragonborn. It looks really neat.
Hold
but-
on, are they not stealing this from like Skyrim? now?
Well, they're gonna get
I
sued by
didn't-
Microsoft. Don't worry, but they'll get sued. But there's a Yeti.
The trailer is so loud.
It's really
Ow.
loud.
Okay, I muted it.
But it's
cute.
it's a $50-something game for the Game Boy, original Game Boy, and I think it's probably gonna be on Steam or something too. But hopefully on Switch. And
Spot.
they say it's gonna have like a 6-hour story. I'm like, I don't know about that, but that's neat.
I
Glad
think
it
it's 60
exists.
just to cover the cost of like this small studio like building hardware.
You know, I didn't
'Cause
think
it's not
we'd
like they like
I know.
licensed by Nintendo.
I mean, if you even think about it now, like the cartridges nowadays, like, wait, so it's going on a Game Boy.
Mhm.
Are they using Game Boy? Probably they're using Game Boy architecture on the cartridge, right?
They have to.
because
Yeah,
they
it's
have
gonna
to.
work on the
Yes, you
hardware.
have
Yeah.
to. You have to.
But I bet they've reverse engineered it. I mean,
That's what I
Nintendo
was gonna
never
say.
really
Because there's like
released
there's no way
schematics.
that they could use current day Arduinos to have
Right.
the Game Boy run those. Because I don't think that's compatible whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm sure I bet they've written a blog or two about how they're doing this.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
be
that'd
kinda
be pretty
interested to read
interesting.
into
That'd be
that,
pretty
'cause
Yeah,
I
it
bet
would
they
be.
had to like reverse engineer some stuff.
I think
Kind of neat.
if it came out for Switch for like $10 on the eShop, I would buy it and try it.
It loses its luster though, and I hate to say
It
it's kind of
would,
the gimmick
but
of it.
I just think it's neat. I don't have a Game Boy, nor would I go look for one.
I
I
found
do.
mine.
I have
so.
it in my bag of Misfit electronics.
All for
Mhm.
them.
That's where my color is. That's where my Game Boy is.
Oh, you guys should get a copy then.
That's
and
where
try
my
it out.
Game Gear is.
Yeah, I've got my puke green Game Boy Color.
Nice.
Oh, I always got the translucent. You want
know,
to?
I had
I
a-
gotta bring those back.
Did I ever tell you guys about my translucent
Wait,
GameCube
color?
controller?
Dude. Wait, GameCube one. Oh,
Oh, I've told you about it. I don't know if I've told Andrew about it.
no.
What
I
is
don't
there
remember.
to? What is there a
Yeah,
story with
please
it?
continue.
I'm intrigued.
I had a launch GameCube that was a special edition, and it had a purple top and it had a clear underneath,
Hmm.
like and it was like the Game Boy Advance ice underneath.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
And when I tried to trade in at GameStop like 10 years later, they thought it was aftermarket third party, and they wouldn't take it.
Oh, that's official. Like
It was
they make
official.
those?
It was a special edition launch GameCube.
special edition.
And it looked, because remember there was a Game Boy Advance that was purple on top and it had the ice underneath. That was
I
the
don't remember
translucent.
that. No, I only
And
remember
they made the
like,
GameCube controller the same way. I have the only one I've ever seen that looked like that.
So the thing that makes that so like weird is that like GameStop doesn't care if it's third party. They care if something's been altered.
I feel like I think maybe that's what they thought. It was just so long ago,
Yeah.
but they
I mean,
wouldn't
it's
take
whatever.
it, and I was like, it's real. Like, what the heck? So I guess that should have been a clue to me, like what, 14 years old or 15 years old, that I probably should have kept it. But
Yeah.
I didn't think of it,
Oh
'cause
well.
I want to trade it in for an Xbox.
Well, we can
I've never traded anything. I keep all my crap.
Yeah, I regret it now, but
we can segue this topic though into damn, I wish I had we had refunds.
Damn, I wish we had refunds because I bought this
Nice segue.
game. I bought this game called
Disc?
Disc Room. $15.
$15 out of money.
I wish
and
I
you
had that
just-
money back.
I'll tell you what, Devolver Digital likes to release games that are good for refunds. Except-
I don't want to say that. Like, this game is fine. It's just no.
It was a joke. Don't get me wrong. Enter the Gungeon's fantastic.
Well, you
One
spent
of my
a
favorite
lot
games.
of time on that.
I over 200 hours.
Hundreds.
So like, all right. So you know how Steam has that like whole refund policy now,
It's
right?
great policy.
It's either that I think it's you have to had played the game for 2 hours.
Yep.
Right. Or own the game for an X
Less
amount of
than
time.
2 hours,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If possible, would you ever try to beat a game in that 2 hour window just so you could return it?
Maybe I'm just kind of a sucker, but that seems dishonest because there are games. A lot of some developers were worried when Steam started this. Like, if I have a narrative game, walking simulator, it's just a 2 hour story, and that's fine. Totally sell that and make money from it. But they were worried people would just play it, like it, and then get their money back.
Like,
I think that sucks. I think that's a shitty thing to do, but I don't think
It
it's
is.
happened that much. I don't, people are still making those sort of games.
It's something like that probably doesn't happen too often, but it's still like it's still a thing that does happen. Because I'll be honest, like if I get a game and I'm like, hey, this game's only an hour long and it was $15, if I remember, I'm going to return it.
If you remember.
The problem is I never remember, right?
Yeah.
But
I did it with
like that hour.
I don't like replaying games.
No, John doesn't like replaying games unless they're re-released as a special edition with 0 new content, but it's got an art book. It's like, I gotta play it again.
Got me.
All right. Would you rather have an art book or a figurine?
Art book.
Ooh, yeah. Coffee table book.
Nice.
Yep. Books are a lot. So here's 2 problems actually with this. Books are a lot easier to put into places and put away, and hide from people that might be judging you.
Right.
Why would you invite them to your home?
I mean, but when moving, books are heavy.
That's true. Yeah.
Right. That's the biggest downfall of
Heavy
books
bin.
is that you're going to either have like maybe like 5 boxes of figurines, or you're going to have 40 boxes of books because they're all so heavy.
And if you look at it from a perspective of, as John pointed out, judgment, if you have, say, 20 figurines of, I don't know, something like anime girls, people are going to judge you and they're going to call you a nerd. But if you have art books of those anime girls, they're going to call you exquisite.
Yeah,
that's like very true.
Astute,
I think it's about
reader,
the same
right?
level of judgment.
You've got like a classy suede jacket. You've got a private study. And you say, yes, I'm quite the avid reader. All of the books are covered with pictures of anime girls, but still, that's reading.
I was hoping he was going to spit out his coffee. It didn't happen.
No. Next topic. Retro Studios will reportedly invest $500,000 in a hot HQ expansion to aid Metroid development. Wait.
Yeah.
That's a house.
$500,000.
That's it?
That's $500,000. That is a percentage of Jeff Bezos's net worth. I don't know what percentage.
All right.
But,
Here, think of this. Think of this in employees, right? They're investing 500 in a high quality expansion to aid the development of the game.
I think headquarters. I
was thinking headquarters.
What is that?
I think it's like a building.
But it's still it's 500,000 headquarter expansion. So it pretty much means they're going to invest 500,000 in a team to develop this, right?
I think that's just for the building.
How's that going to help? How's expanding the building going to help development?
They're going to invest money into. I guess they're hiring They're hiring people to work on the game.
Yeah, but that's like only like that's only like
that's not. I don't think that's. I think
that's 8 people. That's 8 people.
Maybe 8 people. If they negotiate well, that's only 6 people.
That's only 5
You
people.
could have an entire room just for creative thinking.
Yeah. That's so like the idea of that. There's the funny thing with this statement, right? If you actually think about it, it's 500,000 expanded on by people, right? Or 500,000 expanded by room, which you're saying is like adding room to the headquarters, right?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it as like, what's the room going to do to aid development? Especially if people have to work from home right now.
Think of the
Good
snack
point.
room.
I'll tell you what, though. I just did some quick math. If they were expanding on, say, office furniture to make it more comfortable, it would
That's
be
a lot of
it would
Yogi
be
Bows.
equal to 2,000 XL Yogi Bows.
Thank you.
How big is an XL? Like what? I don't have.
It's like 6 feet.
It's 6 feet. It'll fit a normal man.
A normal man.
Not a tall man.
The common man.
Yeah, the common.
The average American height is like 5.
It's you could put me on it. It'd be a pretty body pillow.
Pretty body pillow.
It's coming.
Buy today.
Yeah.
We're selling those now on the
that's
Tendos store.
such a weird-
Tendos.co/store.
/ Yogi deals. But that's such a weird. I guess, was that a headline you found?
It's an actual like news thing that came out.
I'm
today.
searching for headlines. I found that one. I copy pasted from like thegamerchronicle.com.
Like,
what do you want? Look,
like
no,
John,
I get that. I was just saying that's just such a weird like title for a headline.
The exact title is remodeling its HQ. Like, so they're just giving the bigwigs bigger offices. I don't know, but
maybe people have to get bunk desk and they're like trying to separate that. It's
Ooh.
very hazardous for the workspace.
That's very hazardous. That's a lot of low air quality, a lot of carbon.
I had
dioxide.
forgotten about the whole
bunk desk.
global events. It's like, why would you invest in office money now?
Yeah, right. Like this
What
is
a bad
time. Well, we already covered the new Game Boy game, the 3 Ps. We have that. We got the Purdy Pokemon Pikmin.
They're all great. Buy them. Done.
All of them?
Yeah, all of them. Buy them. They're great.
Buy Purdy?
Buy Purdy. Buy Pikmin.
That's a Purdy body pillow.
Purdy
Buy
Pokemon.
Invest today.
Invest in the Kickstarter Purdy body pillows.
Thank you.
It comes complete with the side whip of the hair, glasses,
Yep.
a nice beard.
I was just like, it's a hipster pillow. They don't want it. Not gonna want it.
And an Arnold Schwarzenegger tank top.
That defeats a hipster wouldn't be caught dead.
That's
in
true.
Arnold Schwarzenegger wear
You-
with the mask as well.
Or with the mask as well. Order now. Get a gallon of eggnog with it,
Oh God.
so you can really enjoy it.
It's eggnog season too.
I'm gonna buy. So since it's snowing, you heard it here first. Me and John give you all permission to go buy eggnog now.
Yes, it is.
Since
eggnog
it is first
season.
snowfall.
Eggnog season.
Yep.
What you do
I've
is you
never
get
had
yourself
eggnog.
a cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee.
You get some nice eggnog from the store. Good. I like Hood.
Hood golden eggnog
Mm-hmm.
is what is the gold standard.
Start with the small one because
Yeah.
Because if you take too much eggnog, you first feel heavy, then you feel bloated, and then you're gonna want to rest on the Purdy body pillow. But
And you're not gonna have it yet.
you're not gonna have it yet.
Right, gotta pay
but
And
attention.
what is the phrase you rebel against those you make your god? So the eggnog will make you
So you take
bloated
the
and you'll
eggnog
hate it.
and you put it in your coffee and you drink it.
Yeah, it is the best coffee creamer you can get. So
Mhm.
remember that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's
Is it weird? I've never had eggnog. That's just
No,
not a choice I've made in this life.
I don't think
Is it
it's
too
weird.
late for me?
It took me. I didn't
It's
have
not too
my
late.
first. It's not too late. I didn't have my first cup of eggnog until I was 23.
Damn.
Interesting, because Andrew didn't have his first Moxie until he was 23.
Right.
So
It just sucks. I'm officially in my mid-20s, and that's not a hopeful
All right,
phrase.
listen here,
you
youngin.
Zoomer.
I'm a boomer. That's.
Zoomer.
I think the life expectancy of people is going to drop radically. Therefore, I'm a boomer.
What are you talking about? No one's leaving. Well, most people aren't leaving their houses.
Life expectancy is going to go down. Like it's just
This is-
a downward trend. I'm an old person.
The best
Maybe.
time to be a gamer.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's your fault that you also have a job. You have to work at a computer, but you can multitask if you'd actually play your Switch. And you can do both.
That's fair.
Yeah, I have the Switch Lite at my desk, and whenever somebody says too many words at me, I get bored and
Turn it on.
They can't tell.
I have to start working away from my computer because like I needed to really sit down and buckle down on work.
Because you're
Away
playing
from your
Genshin
personal
Impact.
computer. Yeah.
Yeah. Next topic. Cyberpunk and Miyamoto.
Oh yeah. So I got a rant. All right. Andrew's gonna like this.
Okay.
So the crybabies are out in full force because Cyberpunk got delayed again. Right? So now it got delayed by another month, even though they promised multiple times that it would not be delayed again. And it was totally done, right? And now they have some excuse. It's coming out a month later now. So I only say crybabies because actually I don't know why I said that. I'd be pretty pissed too. Luckily, I have zero hype for that game whatsoever.
Same. Like,
But point being, the people that are defending Cyberpunk are posting the Miyamoto meme saying a good game, a bad game is forever bad. A good game, takes time or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Say that to Skyrim.
However, rip Skyrim. However, I looked and IGN came out with an article about the highest profile games that have gone gold and that either weren't released or got delayed. Not a single one was a Nintendo game. So Miyamoto never breaks his promises, and do not muddle his name in his quote.
I agree.
Cyberpunk.
Do not besmirch the name.
It's bad enough Keanu Reeves is being dragged through the mud. Don't drag Miyamoto through it too.
So here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing on I think about developers and publishers and all this stuff, right? Because people say this about a lot of companies. It also was a very big thing regarding Square Enix and their games that come out. Is a lot of American company or not sorry, a lot of Western companies, I will say that, and this is including European companies, always put aggressive street dates on these games. Right? And they will always put an aggressive street date, and they will always say hey, when we announce our game at E3, it's going to be in this quarter, right? That's very aggressive. Why do you even give a time frame on
guess for stockholders, they want to know when they're going to get their money.
It is for stockholders, right?
They should go the Metroid route and just put a picture.
But if you kind of think about it, sorry, a lot of Japanese developers. This is something I don't think people really notice. Is when they announce a game, they don't put anything. Coming soon.
They just say it's coming.
They're just they write in develevment. Oh, that's all they write.
They do
in development, right? They don't even
much healthier
hint.
Process.
They don't even hint that it's coming at any time soon. And then what happens is the fan base starts putting dates on it.
Did that not happen with Breath of the Wild? Because they delayed it a few times, but it was it's going to take us a little longer. But I think people were it's definitely coming out this holiday, and they're
they put a year on it. I think
if there's no date, what's a delay?
If there's no date, I don't think it's really a delay.
Yeah.
I think they put a year on Zelda.
If there's a year is a possibility, right? But if there is literally no tag date, because this is also a big thing that I think a lot of people run into, is they go to stores like GameStop, right? And GameStop and say even Amazon take these pre-orders.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And they take these pre-orders and they have to tag a date with the way their POS systems are, is that they have to tag a date with the purchase.
Yeah.
So what a lot of companies do is they always tag the date with 1/1 and then the next year.
Right. So and then when you see that, it's not real.
You should.
Or if it says December 31st, end of the year, it's okay. That's next year.
People are I already spent $80 on this and I don't have it yet.
Well, they go, it's December 31st. Why isn't it out yet? And you're that's not a real date. Unless it's a Tuesday.
I'll never understand pre-ordering a game. What's it going to run out of copies? That's never happened. Except for Wii Fit.
Except for Mario All-Stars.
There is a statement
to that. They will run out. That is a finite resource.
But the thing is that there is a statement about the pre-orders and about what they do and how they help. But it's a weird this whole thing about pre-ordering pretty much puts expectations on the game to come out at the day that pre-order says it will. Right. Which at the end of the day, people don't realize that's never a finite date, right? Dates change.
It's interesting because I think it shows how unpredictable game development is.
Oh, for sure.
It's how unpredictable. Not even game development. It's unpredictable.
Right. Yeah. But
it's just development.
Look at a movie. if you see like, okay, the movie, they're filming the movie, the actors are out there filming it. You know, it's going to come out like the next year because then the post-production takes a year.
Mhm.
They rarely ever delay movies.
But they did this year because
This
of world
year, you
events.
know, because of global
yes,
world events.
they
But
rarely
it's,
ever.
it's much
but,
more
like,
predictable. People kind of expect it to be like
It's-
that, but a game
Right.
is just
They crunch.
software.
they don't.
Just-
The biggest there's a very big difference between the two though, which is it's. I hate to say it this way. The mental power versus in video game development versus the mental power that's in probably movie development. Movie development has a
Very
lot of
different
creative like power, and I'm not here to like disprove that whatsoever, right? But there's a lot of with video game development, there's a lot of issues where a lot of people try to create new technologies, right? They try to use new technologies. Where
Right.
when it comes to film creating, right, you don't necessarily use the newest technology unless you're James Cameron, and then you take
Right.
7 years to make Avatar
All
2.
they do is they like you rent a camera
True.
that someone already made, you rent a studio someone already made, and you use some effects software somebody already made.
Mhm.
But a game is like you gotta build the nails and the boards of wood yourself and construct all the pieces, and we do everything from scratch, and it's kind of silly.
Every
If
time.
I'm building a movie set, it's like I'm gonna use some stuff that they used for the last movie.
We're gonna
Let
use
me
costumes
grab
for the
this.
previous
Right.
like things. Yeah, it's just
It's like games we decide to make every asset from scratch, and if
Every
we reuse
time.
assets, people whine. So I don't
Yep.
know. It's
Well, welcome to Assassin's Creed, right? People complain that they reuse assets. They've been reusing them for 8 years
Call of
now.
Duty,
well,
10
you keep
years.
buying it every year. So if you want a new game every year, here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing our
We got a
best.
few minutes left, so couple things to hit here. Nintendo Partner Direct, that was this week, or that was
It
announced.
was.
It was this week.
Okay.
It was all right.
Yeah, it was all right. It was a nice surprise. It was a shadow drop. They
Mhm.
dropped No More Heroes 1 and 2 on the eShop right after.
Yes, they did.
They dropped a Hyrule Warriors demo, which is great. I loved it. Can't wait for the full game. Did you play it, Andrew? I know, John, you probably will
I've
play it.
Downloaded the demo, but I recall watching the trailer from the direct, and I'm just aggressively uninterested in playing this video game.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
I
That's
don't know.
fine.
Yeah.
Just to say though, the cutscenes are really well done and stuff, and the story is
Okay.
pretty good, even just in the demo. You should at least watch a summary of it at some point, just because you like
Why
Breath
has
of the
every
Wild.
game got crystals? They started this direct with like an RPG where you need the 6 magic crystals.
Oh,
What's the
that's
deal with
that's
that?
the John games were there.
It's
Bravely
single
Default
RPG.
and stuff.
Oh,
There was
Bravely
a
Default.
farming game. So
Bravely Default's such a good series, but it's like every RPG style, right? Fade in, black screen fade in. It's
Right.
just so easy and cliche, and
oh,
like,
I see.
it's
I
So
see.
cliche to collect
But
the
it's-
6 magic gems.
but it's so, like I said, it's such an easy like trope into anything. Like if you ever run into somebody, right, that's like making a D&D character, they're always gonna have the backstory of their parents were killed,
Yep.
and
Yep.
now they're looking for the
And then they
It's
meet in a
like-
tavern.
and then they meet in a tavern. It's
Yeah.
it's just like
the
such a
same stuff again and again.
I don't it's cliche, but it's just such an easy, just like, well, we have motivation now, right?
Gotcha. Yeah,
And it's such a terrible way of making motivation.
I hear you.
It works. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
Never change. Tell the same story again and again and again until we're all dead and gone.
Just differently.
Just differently.